These 6 exercises are all you need to finally drop 15, 30, maybe even 60 pounds in the next 6 months, and they don't require hours in the gym. They're simple, scalable, and brutally effective when used properly. I've written over 180 programs for fathers over the last 12 years, and the ones who stuck to these 6 movements and did them consistently lost weight and kept it off. Most of them started out tired, sluggish, frustrated, but after they made this shift, they finally saw progress and the motivation came flooding back. In this video, I'll show you all 6 so you can gain strength, torch fat, and finally see those abs come through without doing a single crunch. Here's what's happening. You're spending 45 minutes or more in the gym doing bicep curls, ab crunches, and all kinds of machine work and wondering why you still aren't seeing results. When the truth is, spot reduction is a total myth. You can't ab crunch your way to a flat stomach or a 6-pack. But here's what most people don't know. The fastest way to lose belly fat is not by doing crunches or anything to do with just ab contraction. It's actually compound movements. We're talking big, multi-muscle movements that get your metabolism firing. The 6 exercises that I'm about to show you work because they do 3 main things. First, they're compound movements, which means they use multiple muscles and multiple joints in order to execute the lift. Second, they're going to build and preserve your lean muscle mass, which is your main metabolic engine, meaning the thing that is getting your metabolism firing and higher than that of your counterpart. And third, they hit every major muscle group. So let's break this down. First up is the tried and true squat. Now, you can do this with body weight, but you're going to get the most benefit when you use a barbell or some kind of weight to add the resistance component to it. Now, this isn't just a leg exercise. When you squat with resistance, you're using your entire core to stabilize that weight. And it's through that stabilization that your abs are working harder than they ever would doing crunches or sit-ups. Plus, you're burning a massive amount of calories in your legs. They're the largest moving muscle group in your body. And if you don't have a barbell, no sweat. This can be done with a resistance band, dumbbells, a kettlebell, pretty much anything that is going to add weight to your body and make you cause that stabilization in your core and really push with those legs. Exercise 2 is going to be our deadlift. Look, deadlift is king when it comes to moving the most amount of weight. And the reason for that is because you're using your legs, your butt, your core, and your back, which are all your major moving muscle groups in your body. So you're going to be burning the most amount of calories because you're lifting the most amount of weight and it's at the highest intensity. I mean, this one exercise works more muscles simultaneously than any machine at your gym. So when it comes time to what's the biggest bang for your buck, deadlifts are absolutely crucial. Now, yes, just like any other exercise, if you don't do it with proper form, you can hurt yourself. So be smart about it. Watch some videos, make sure you're bracing your core hard, that you're pulling back on the bar and that you're squeezing your lats together, and then you're using your legs, not your back, to lift the weight. There's obviously a lot more that goes into it, but before you get started, make sure you're being safe with it. Once you know that you can do it safely, you can increase the weight slowly but surely, and you're going to build real strength that way. Exercise number 3 is another tried and true bench press. Look, it's not complicated, y'all. I know that these are very, very simple, but that's because they are the best when it comes to time efficient training. So bench press, once again, when done properly, you're engaging your entire core to maintain stability. Your legs are driving against the ground and you're incorporating the large muscles in the front of your upper body to move this heavy weight. Next exercise, pull-ups. This is my favorite bodyweight exercise of all time because there's just something about that pump you get in your lats where you can't close your arms all the way that just makes you feel extra strong. And also the confidence that it brings you when you know you can pull your own body weight up if the situation deems necessary is unmatched. But that doesn't mean that you have to be able to do a pull-up right off the bat. There's tools that assist with that. So we have bands, or you can use the machine-assisted pull-ups. And if you have access to a gym, you can also use the lat pull-down machine. This builds your back, biceps, and yep, you guessed it, also your core, because you have to stabilize your whole body when you're pulling yourself up. When done properly, your abs should be engaged the entire time. Exercise number 5, the overhead press. This movement is primarily for the shoulders, but whether you're using dumbbells, a barbell, or a kettlebell, or resistance bands, once again, you need to have that core stabilized. Here's a tip I give to my clients when I'm teaching the vertical press, shoulder press, military press, whatever you want to call it. First thing, your feet are going to be underneath your hips. Then you want to lock in your hips. So the way you do that is you almost do like a little bit of a pelvic tilt, right? So you're squeezing your butt together and then your hips are coming forward. Then you have a really tight core. Now it doesn't need to be like as tight as you would do like crunches, right? But you want to have, I would say, about 30 to 40% tightness. And then when you're actually up overhead with heavy weight, you're going to have closer to like 80 to 90% tightness. So it's going to vary depending on how much weight you're actually pushing overhead. So once you have that tight core, you want to think about your lower body, or rather your chest down, as like one solid block of iron, right? So it doesn't have a lot of movement because you've locked everything down. That's going to help you focus on the vertical pressing up and make your lifts stronger, more stable, and therefore safer. It's almost like you're doing a standing plank while pressing up. All right, number 6 is one you probably aren't expecting. It's the loaded carry. Farmer's walks, suitcase carry, basically having some kind of weight in your hand or hands and walking with it. My favorite version of this is the suitcase carry. The reason I like these so much is because not only are you working on grip strength, but you're also working on core anti-flexion. So whereas the other 5 exercises are all about core bracing, right? We talk about stabilizing and crunching the core in order to help and protect yourself. This is anti-flexion. So it wants to take you to one side and you're using your whole core to stop yourself from turning. So this is working your core in a different way, and it's more functional. Think about how often you're carrying something, maybe even something heavy, right? As opposed to when's the last time you needed to do a crunch for something involving work or getting stuff done around the house. This makes me think about when I took my family to Washington. We got off the plane, and after we got the luggage, I was carrying the pack and play, 2 backpacks, and the baby carrier all in one hand, and then I was grabbing the luggage with the other hand. If I hadn't been doing these regularly in the gym, there's no way I would have been able to walk probably half a mile through the airport into our rental car without needing a break or asking my wife for help. So this exercise holds a special place in my heart. So the reason these are the core 6 exercises that work so much better than crunches or whatever machine is at the gym is because they incorporate multiple muscle groups, and they're going to put lean mass on your body that is going to burn calories far after you get done exercising, because this is going to boost your metabolic rate. And that's because every pound of muscle that you have burns an additional 6 to 7 calories per day. So even if you just put on 10 pounds of muscle, think about it, that's 60 to 70 extra calories per day without you lifting a finger. So here's how I might break that up into a workout. Day 1, I'm going to squat, vertical press, and do a loaded carry. Day 2, deadlift, bench press, pull-ups. And for day 3, I would do squats, bench press, and some more pull-ups. If you're new to working out or you just don't feel that strong, I would recommend starting off with 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps on each of those exercises. The reason is because you need to develop repetition. Your body needs to learn how to be most efficient with its movements, and that's only going to come with time and repetitions. This is going to be most of you. If, however, you have put enough time in the gym to where you're moving heavy weights, then you don't need anything more than 5 to 8 reps to make this effective. And that's because you're going to be lifting heavier. So long as you're still staying safe, you're going to get a killer workout that way. And when it comes to the carry, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or an advanced lifter, about 60 seconds is going to be your sweet spot there. This is because you don't want to pick up something that's so heavy you can't hold for more than 15 seconds, and you don't want to be something so light that it's easy to walk around for over 5 minutes. You're not going to get much stimulus that way. So about the minute is your sweet spot. Now these 6 exercises are incredibly powerful, and if you stick to them, they're going to work really well for you. But I'll be honest with you, they're just the foundation. If you really want to get the most out of your time, it's going to require a little more fine tuning. Something specific to you, your goals, and your ability level, and that has your routine in mind. I see guys all the time trying to follow these cookie cutter programs online, but that's not specific to you, what you're able to do, the time commitment that you have, and your specific goal. So you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. That's why I created the Proven Method, a personalized approach for high achievers who want real results, not quick fixes. So if you're ready for a plan that's built specifically for you, your routine, your lifestyle, your goals, apply for one-on-one coaching today. You'll get a 6-month workout plan, lifetime nutrition strategy, monthly and weekly check-ins, and a supportive community to help you along the way. Now, spots are limited because we work closely with all of our clients. So if you're serious about getting strong, showing up for your family, and feeling like your younger self again, go ahead and click the link in the description to apply.